it's really good to kind of get some good talent in the room to kind of give a little spark in that room, to kind of see a competitive edge and from those guys to really lock in and to, do what we're expecting them to do, which is to come in and, to be that guy. And, we need that one guy for this team. So I'm definitely excited for that room, excited to see what those guys have in store for us in training camp.
Okay, Wilbon's reaction, that was definitely the first time we'd heard that
Yeah,
sound.
yeah.
His reaction was open mouth. So go ahead, your reaction to what he had to say.
Well, he dressed it up at the end. He made a nice spin move there, figuring out what he had said. Get some talent in the room is sort of an indictment. By the way, they wasted Justin Jefferson last year. The Vikings did. It's fine with me being in that division.
Yeah.
But when they chose him there, I'm like, why are they doing this? Why are the Vikings doing this? And all year long, I had to hear people talk about, what he was going to do. It was just so far, it's a misread, a big, fat misread. And so, but Justin Jefferson has every right to think, how long are careers, even great long careers at that position? 9, 10 years? And so they just wasted a year. Are they going to waste a second one?
The blemish of 2 touchdowns on any season in Justin Jefferson's career is a blemish that is eye-popping. And Kyler Murray signed for $1 million to go there and to compete for this job. I would have full belief that he's going to go there and he's going to have his hair on fire to go win that job and recreate his career as well.
Yeah, I felt Justin Jefferson trying not to say too much, but trying to say what he meant. Like he was kind of making word salad, and I think we all knew what.
I don't think Jerry Rice had any 2-touchdown seasons.
True. I don't think he did either. So an opportunity awaits him now.
Interesting things. This is Vikings receiver Justin Jefferson asked about his team's remade quarterback room that features Kyler Murray alongside the incumbent JJ McCarthy.
I'm definitely looking for those, big, exciting plays. Definitely looking forward to his speed, his quickness, his arm strength that he's shown countless times over the years. And then it's just, for JJ, for somebody to enter that room with that type of ability, that type of talent, he's got to step it up a little bit. So it's good for him to, feel that type of pressure and to really, lock in a little bit and say it's either now or, I'm going to take that backseat again.
It's a pretty honest assessment, right? For a spot where you just get up there sometimes, you don't know if someone's going to tell you what they really think. That, I think, is a pretty honest assessment of the quarterback situation in Minnesota. How should we be looking at it, Peter?
I would think that Kyler Murray comes in there and he's looking to set the world on fire and rebuild his career. And JJ McCarthy knows exactly what awaits him. Now, JJ McCarthy might have struggled at points last year, but he also finished the season with some wins and some positivity. I think Kevin O'Connell's going to say, let the best man win. But I would imagine Kyler Murray's not going there to be a backup, and he has full confidence that he can outdo JJ McCarthy in that room.
This is a fascinating story because I think win for today, Kyler Murray's talent wins out for today. But for JJ McCarthy, someone I liked a lot, Greeny, he's only played in 10 out of 34 games. The only grade we could give JJ McCarthy is a grade of incomplete. And Peter is right. The flashes were good. The completion percentage wasn't good enough. The turnovers weren't good enough, but he's a young quarterback. So if I'm Minnesota, this is the best of both worlds. And let's also remember, Peter mentioned it earlier in the show, Greeny, 1-year deal at $1 million. So in the back of their mind, they should also be thinking, well, hey, if Kyle Murray graduates because he's getting asked for too much, maybe JJ McCarthy a year from now is a different player. So this gives them a lot of optionality.
McCarthy beginning year 3, which is always a pivotal year for these first-round picks because you have the 5th-year option that has to get picked up after the season, and that becomes a very complicated decision if Kyler Murray is their quarterback all or most of the year.
I think this is spelling the end for JJ McCarthy. Kyler Murray did not sign with Minnesota to be anyone's backup. I think Kyler Murray's talent and the infrastructure around him is going to allow him to excel. And if you're Minnesota, do you want the same thing that happened with Sam Darnold play out again in Minnesota? And I know that Kyler Murray has a no trade clause or no franchise clause in his contract, no tag clause. But there's no way if Kyler Murray goes out here and rips it up that you're going to let him step out of that building. Absolutely no way.
Interesting time for Minnesota. Remember, their general manager, who had a 14-win season 2 years ago, was fired. So you're talking about why would he fire? Well, there's a million reasons, but when the quarterback position is bungled that way, you say, well, that's on him. If JJ McCarthy can come out and prove Kwesi right and prove that some of these people were right, it totally changes the narrative on things in Minnesota. So there are still people in the building who are like, gosh, we drafted JJ McCarthy and traded up to get him 2 years ago. Let's not close the door on this guy just yet. So there is a window for him to win this job and to be the man in Minnesota over Kyler Murray, who is a mercenary at this point. It's a one-year deal. We're going to do it. We're both going to use each other in this one. You're going to rebuild your career, and we're hopefully going to get a lift. But gosh, if JJ comes out there and outdoes him in training camp, I don't think there's anyone in there who's going to be like, no, it's Kyler's job.
Final word.
Greedy, he's 23 years old. In 48 hours, you're going to be talking about a lot of players in the draft in the first round.
We're older than him.
Yeah.
That's true. So, I mean, you got to give it time. But the way we've talked so much about value, right? The draft has become a lot about that. You almost have to have like an accounting degree in order to understand the way teams approach the draft. The value of having a quarterback on a rookie contract is almost, it's almost swept by them, though, right? They've almost lost out on that in the case of JJ McCarthy. They have 1 year left to make that decision. Coming up, the arms race in the AFC East is heating up. Will the Bills try to steal the biggest prize of the offseason away from their arch rivals? We'll answer that question after we see if Schrager can answer this one from Sneaky Hembo. Here we go. What was the last school? Back on Get Up, and here we go for Schrager. Ohio State may very well have 3 of the top 5 picks in this draft. They might have 4 of the top 10. But what was the last school to have 3 players picked in the top 5 of the same draft?
I'm going through all those Miami drafts of the early 2000s. I'm going through all the Alabama and Georgia guys. I go back to a year where I know Courtney Brown and LeVar Arrington both came out of Penn State. I'm going to throw Curtis Enis in the mix. I'm going to say Curtis Enis, LeVar Arrington, Courtney Brown, 2000 draft.
It's a very good guess. It has happened more recently, if that's correct. The answer is Oklahoma in 2010.
Sam Bradford.
Gerald McCoy went 3rd. Trent Williams went 4th. At 3.
Wow.
The top 10. Trent Williams, the ageless one, went 4th in that draft. That's a tough question.
Boomer Sooner. Good job there, Hembo. That's great.
That's a very tough question.
That's
a good guess. We can look that up. Was his?
I don't know if Enis was the same draft.
All in the top 5.
Hembo, you on the heater, man.
Okay, we are 2 days from the NFL draft. Let's do a segment we call Best Case Scenario. All right, Schrager, let's talk about Kansas City on Thursday night. They have 9-29. What is the best case scenario for the Chiefs in round 1?
I think Caleb Downs is maybe the best defensive player in this draft. If you're just talking about immediate impact as far as smartest player on a defense and also face of the franchise, you had an entire defensive backfield ravaged in free agency. Brian Cook is no longer there, and of course we know the 2 corners. Gosh, if Caleb Downs falls to 9 to Kansas City, you immediately have Steve Spagnuolo and you know you've got Dave, obviously their defensive backs coach, Dave, I'm going blank on his name, but anyway, he's one of the best defensive backs coaches in the entire league. You put Caleb Downs in there, you have a new captain of your defense, you're set for the next 10 years.
What do you think, D-Wood? Because I've got so many people talking defense, and yet if I'm Patrick Mahomes, I'm thinking, I'm getting pretty tired of dinking and dunking and getting hit in the mouth all the time and nobody being open, and we'll see when he's healthy and ready to play. But I've had a lot of people up here campaigning for them to take an offensive weapon.
Yeah, I was along the lines of defense, whether it's pass rush or cornerback, but man, your quarterback is coming off an ACL injury. Every part of the reason the Chiefs find themselves in this situation, because they always ask quarterback to put on his